back at it again, baby, and we've got a scary one. Let's dive in.
Our lives the same as you did when you were kids, but we can't let you get away with this anymore. Enough is enough. Our lives the same as you did when you were kids, but we can't let you get away with this anymore. Enough is enough. Enough of you telling us that school shootings are a fact of life when every other country like ours has virtually ended it. Enough of you blaming mental illness and then defunding mental health care in this country. Enough of your thoughts and prayers. Enough. Enough. You will not stop us from advancing the Protecting Our Kids Act today.
He's angry. He's slamming his hand on the table.
Enough of your thoughts and prayers. Enough. Enough. You will not stop us from advancing the Protecting Our Kids Act today. You will not stop us from passing it in the House next week, and you will not stop us there. If the filibuster obstructs us, we will abolish it. If the Supreme Court objects, we will expand it, and we will not rest until
Whoa. Time out, coach. Time out. Wait a minute. I touched on this the other day. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're just flat out telling you, oh yeah, we're taking over. We're taking over. I don't care what you say, what your opinion is, these little checks and balances that we're supposed to have here in America so no one group can take over. Don't care about it. If the Supreme Court objects, guess what we'll do? We'll put more people in that'll agree with us. Don't these guys and gals take an oath to uphold the Constitution? I mean, listen, I could be wrong. I admit I don't know everything there is to know. I am in the learning process, so forgive me if I am incorrect. But I believe these guys and gals take an oath to uphold the Constitution. So how could they then rip it apart? This doesn't make any sense. And like I said, they're literally telling you, we're taking over. If the filibuster stops, hey, we're getting rid of it. If anything stands in our way, we're just tearing it apart. We're taking over. Your little checks and balances, forget them. They're in the trash. This is scary. Like at one point, it was like quietly being done. Like we're not gonna say anything in public, but hint, hint, wink, wink. We're trying to get some stuff done behind the scenes. We're trying to tear this thing apart. But now they're just openly saying it, which is just extremely scary. I don't know about y'all, but that's extremely scary. And then the fact that he said something about you blame mental illness, but you defund mental illness. But I could also rebut that and say you call the cops, but you defund them too. How does that make any type of sense? Right? How about let's start with not defunding the police, hiring more police, giving police more resources and money so that you have more on the streets, giving police better training so that when police respond to certain situations and in circumstances, they don't freeze and stand outside of a building instead of going straight in. Now, I don't know all of the ins and outs of that situation, but on its surface, that situation looked bad. I think we can all agree without knowing the details of that situation. That looked bad. Now, like I said, there may be something about the situation that I'm not aware of, why they stood out, yada, yada, yada. But from the little bit that I've heard about that situation, it didn't look or sound good. But like I said, there could be more information, which I'm sure there are. If there's more information as far as, why they stood out. I mean, I heard they thought he was barricaded, but then I've also heard, there were kids inside the classroom calling, but those calls didn't go through to the actual sergeant on the site because he didn't have his thing with them, some kind of communication device with them or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So better training, more officers. Let's not defund the police. Let's get more. Let's fund the police. We can start there. How about that? But I don't think that's going to be enough for these guys.
If the Supreme Court objects, we will expand it, and we will not rest until we have taken weapons of war out of circulation in our communities.
And there's that old word that they like to use, weapons of war. They like to use different terms to either scare individuals, weapons of war. Ooh, these weapons of war. What does that mean? What do you mean by weapons of war? Because an AR-15 isn't a weapon that, our U.S. military personnel actually use. So what exactly do you mean by a weapon of war. You know, be very specific is the first thing I would say. But also, you know, politicians use wording to try to make things sound very nice. We heard our neighbors up north, their prime minister say, we're going to freeze handgun ownership. Freeze? What? Why'd you say freeze? To make it sound nicer. He didn't want to say, hey, we're coming into your home and we're taking your handguns. He didn't want to say that. That sounds too harsh. You got to put it in a nice way so that they willingly give it over. They think they're slick, but they're not. I see through the BS, and I know y'all do too.
Each and every day, we will do whatever it takes to end gun violence, whatever it takes. What we will do is not fail the children of this country the way that you have failed us. The generations of Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, and Uvalde. I yield back, Madam Chair.
So, like I said, they're just outright telling you, we don't care about your Constitution. We don't care about your rights. We don't care about these checks and balances. We're getting rid of everything. We're burning it all to the ground. We're defunding the police, but then we're calling the police when tragedies happening and expecting them to be well trained and ready to save us. As if that makes a whole lot of sense. He also said that they are willing to do whatever it takes. So if you are willing to do whatever it takes, how about this? Give more funding to the police so that they can hire more and train better. That's for starters. Let's give schools some more money so that teachers, we'll be able to have some teachers that can train in firearm ownership, safety. Some teachers can walk around with concealed carry weapons and will be able to protect children better than nobody else. I forgot which video it was that I was checking out. I can't remember if I made a reaction video to it or if I just watched it on my own time. But somebody was speaking about how it's almost better to have teachers that are armed than, you know, a security guard or an officer, because those teachers have a different type of love for their students. Not in a weird way, not in the way that we've been talking about some of these P words, you know, showing kids all this extra stuff. Not that kind, but like just a genuine, you know, a guardian kind of love to their students. An innocent type of love, right? So they would do anything to protect them. They're not going to cower or back down or run. You know what I mean? Like for example, anybody that has children, we know, like, we'll do anything for our kids. Period. It's a type of love that you can't really describe until like you're actually in it, until you've actually been through it. All my parents out there, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, yes, we know. You know what I mean? There's a certain extra layer or level of love between a teacher and their students. So there was a situation where a guy started firing at a graduation party. I didn't make a reaction video to it. I thought about it, but I just watched it in my own time. Well, somebody at the graduation party was a legal carrier. Cooked him. AR versus the 9mm. Dropped him. And we should be applauding that young lady. We should be celebrating that young lady. And there's situations and circumstances like that all across America. All across America. Why can't we have that for our children? And I get it, kids, we don't want firearms around our kids. Well, when they go home, they're around firearms, especially kids in inner cities. They're around firearms and sometimes they don't even know it. I'd rather have someone that is trained on firearms to have it than not. So, like, let's arm teachers. But I can meet you in the middle for those that say they don't want they don't want firearms inside of classrooms. I disagree with that. But instead, let's have firearms in a safe, in the office, with the principal, assistant principal, lady at the front desk. Let's have all of them armed. Or firearms inside, the front office somewhere. So if a tragedy happened, everybody in the front office, boom, we know where to go. We know where the firearms are. We got the code. So they're locked up, safe, away from the students, but we can get to them. What y'all think about that? Let me know in the comment section. Also, in that Uvalde situation, the door was open. So, like, let's make sure all doors are locked. We could hire a security guard or an officer to patrol the school to check anyone that comes in. They're the first line of defense. Then we have teachers that are armed, or front office that is armed. Buildings locked, security cameras. I mean, there's multiple things that we can do in these situations and circumstances. So I don't understand how you jump to taking away your Second Amendment rights, because you said that you're willing to do anything, but in reality, you're not willing to do anything. You're only willing to do what you want to do, is what they really mean when they say they're willing to do anything. It's what you want to do. Because have we tried these other methods? Arming teachers, having an armed security guard at the building, checking anybody that needs to get inside the building, making sure all doors are locked. And don't tell me money's the issue. We just sent 50 something billion overseas. You know how much money that we give away to other countries? It's astronomical. It's insane how much money we spend on BS, crap. This welfare system is garbage. There's so many people who are getting welfare that do not deserve it or that don't even need it. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that I have all the answers. This is just all off the top of the head. I'm sure there's more sophisticated answers that somebody could come up with if they sat down and really thought about it more deeply. But yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling about some of those answers. If you guys have any better solutions that don't involve taking away our rights, getting rid of the Constitution. I mean, once that starts, I mean, it's a wrap. Like, this country we're the last frontier. We're the last frontier. As the KGB defector Yuri said, there's nowhere else to run. Once the U.S. falls, it all falls. But y'all let me know how you feel about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.